So it's 4 months since I did the first update. Since then, I've really just been focusing on the seeds or the cuttings and those types of things. So I thought I'd just give you an update of what's happening in the garden. So in the front area, so this is outside the property next to the driveway, just very unkept, just dirt, the loamy sand and grass. So I wanted to just neaten, tidy that up a bit. And as you know, I grew a whole bunch of knobby club rush from seed. And so I decided to plant a bunch of them in a line. So yeah, how good are the root structure there? They were ready to go in. So I planted along here. The reason I protected them is to stop them getting hit with a whippersnipper or a mower. And after a couple of months, they're doing really well. So as we round around the corner here, we've got these coast tea trees. So they're very unkept, so I wanted to tidy them up a bit. So I cut underneath it, I chucked in some mulch, and I put the rest of the Phocenia nodosa, the knobby club rush, in. That only took me so far, and it's quite a dark area. So one thing that's pretty good for dark areas and moist areas is Dianella. And I had heaps of these, which I was looking for places to put around. So I thought if I continued that line in the Dianella, that would look really good. So here they are here. This is the second time I planted these. So when you pull these out, 6 months ago I started seeding these, and they still got quite feeble root systems. So maybe these pots were too big. They just didn't catch on the way that the knobby club rush did. Yeah, I guess started too late, pot too big, those type of reasons. So then we ran around here. So this is where I had the coast sword hedge. So I separated that out when I found on the street. Still looking really good. This is just weeds around it, so it might be kind of hard to see, but you can take my word for it, it's looking good. And there's two trees I planted before. So I decided to put one of my prickly Moses out here, and because I want to get that coverage soon. And I decided to plant the zigzag model, even though I said I probably wouldn't. So the coast Banksia that I put out here, and I had very poor root structure, is still doing poorly. So a good lesson on making sure that they have an adequate root structure. This Corymbia fusifolia, this got quite badly sun damaged here, so it's recovered up to its pre-sun damage point now. So the next is when we come around the corner here to this second gate. So I've actually decided to close off access here. I was like, I don't need this second gate, and I want to just create that coverage over the house. So even though it's winter and there's a risk of frost, I wanted to plant now because it's going to take several years till I have that coverage. So here is some wattle. The reason I haven't given names here, except for this one, that is a very good root system for my prickly Moses. But the rest of them I did not actually grow myself, so I didn't put the names down. Here is the zigzag wattle. Again, they grow so quickly, I decided to put it down. And another prickly Moses that I've put in that location. Along the side here, this is outside the property, and so that grass area there, I'm just progressively digging it up and replacing it with a beautiful field of calchello. So the secret garden at the back, this is where it gets wet and is sometimes submerged in water and is muddy. So I had planted some of the Phocenia, the knobby club rush. They're doing really well, so I reckon they're going to come to really do well in spring. So they're just fresh down here because they've been actually getting water on them, but they're growing. It's ideal conditions for them. And along the fence line between the secret garden and the fairy garden, I decided to put the rest of these Dianellas. So these were the ones I did first, and they had a really poor root structure, as you can see here, and I didn't learn my lesson. So yeah, and also this Agapanthus I pulled out because it's a weed, as I've discussed before. So this Timu tank area where I planted a couple of big trees and then just a couple of shrubs, it's doing well. Everything's just like kicking along. This Blakely's red gum is doing good. I think I should have just waited and put another Banksia. This Marginata doing really well as well. And the ground cover here, you may remember from another video that these I took from cuttings. So this is the smooth ruby saltbush, just put them in some tins. Look how good the root structure is. So I want to have details, so I chucked them in the back under some trees. A couple of weeks later, they've already kicked on and are doing well. So this is one of the more exciting ones up along the driveway. So I had an issue here that the two end 3-meter sections of the retaining wall was overturning at the posts, and I was going to replace the retaining wall, extremely expensive, until one day I had the idea is that I don't need the driveway to extend that fast. So I took the 6 posts on the two ends and I decided to make these large steps. So this is the crushed rock. I didn't actually compact it down, but I did put a weed mat layer, and this is the finish. So luckily I had these materials from a previous project just lying around, so it cost me nothing. So for that little side slope there, what I've decided to do is to get pig face and bower spinach and just push them into the sand like that. And I've got no doubt that they will kick on nicely. And the old man saltbush that I'd taken from here and then saved, I put back, and then I decided to put this drooping she oak that I've had for ages there. So hopefully that kicks on as well. And that one I collected from seeds, and then on the other side just a few shrubs, the common coria and the white coria. Took that from cuttings as well, and yeah, they should thrive in this location. And the final bit behind this little sandbox area, I decided to take the rest of my dianellas. Again, this is about a month after the really feeble roots, so probably should have waited to spring, but I'm just quite impatient with this. So I decided to, that's a lot better than before, but still not exactly where I want it to be. And to put them behind it like that to kind of frame the back, and yeah, so you can't really see the fence that much. So it looks really good, and I chucked down a little bit of mulch around them.